Hello everyone, I'm Sidhant. Today the chapter number 14, which is laws relating to the bill finances, will going to be discussed by me. Now moving on to the chapter, before it we just have known that what is the bill. Simply whatever we know about the bill, that's the bill in actual. In this we will going to study, but in extra with that bill, how we can take a loan. If we are as a company, how we can take a loan from the bank itself through the bill, we will going to read in this chapter. Now since bill is something which we call is a legal things. Why legal? Because it's mentioned in the Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881. So it can be enforceable. So it's enforceable. That's why the bill is very more often than not we see in everywhere that peoples are encouraged to produce the bill or make the bill, so that it's transparent, so that everything could be taken into an account. Now through the bill, how we can take a loan, how the loan can be processed. Let's say this seller, okay, and this is a buyer. We will take the simple, considering that both the buyers and the sellers are in India. So the bills are also used as a finance when it's involved the exporter importer as well as the one country to another country. When the bill is produced, through that also we can take the finance from the banking industry, but taking it as simple as possible. So moving on, since it's a seller, he produced goods, so he sold the goods to the buyer. Now the buyer will make the payment, but since seller sold the goods, the buyer make the payment. But I told you, in Indian businesses or anywhere you go, the business is like that. The payment will come after some time. Let's say the possibility that the payment comes immediately, that is called we discussed, that is called a side bill, in which bill in the bill itself it is written that you have to make the payment at a time. But when the payment is after some time, let's say 15 days, 10 days, 1 month, 2 month, then we call it a usance bill. So let's say the seller gives the goods to the buyer and produced a usance bill. In the usance bill, he wrote that you are ordered to pay this much amount of rupees at this particular date of time. So this is the scenario. But since he sold the goods and he will receive the payment after 1 month, but he needs the payment immediately in order to run his company. So in order to collect the amount or accumulate the amount, from where he can do through the bank. Either he go to the banks, so he tell the banks that either what are the provisions, how I can take a loan. So the bank give him many options, that since you are working capital, you can take overdraft or CC from us. But in that overdraft or CC, you have to make something mortgage or hypothecate. You have to mortgage or hypothecate something. Mortgage or hypothecation of raw materials or the finished goods. But the person is not ready to do that. So the second option the bank is giving, that okay, if you have some bill in which you will get some amount in future, through that we can also give loans. So the seller is ready with that. He gave the usance bill to the person, to the bank, and the bank in turn gives loan on the basis of the usance bill to the person. This is how it works. Now the benefit got not only to the seller but also to the banks. Let's say he purchased or discounted the bill, and the bill is with him, and he delivers the amount to the seller. So in future, if bank thinks that the bank needs money due to any reasons, if bank needs money in future due to any reasons, then bank could also sell this usance bill to some other bank or to some other person, to anyone. So this is the beauty of this usance bill, financing on the bills, on the basis of the bills. Okay, now moving on to the classification of the bills. There are 6 types of the bills. First, inland bills. As we discussed, the simplest example, inland bills, which originates in India. It must be drawn or made payable in India, or it must be drawn in India or made payable in some foreign countries. This is the definition of the inland bills. Next, the foreign bills. The bills drawn outside India and made payable in or drawn upon any person resident in any country outside India. This is the foreign bills. And the foreign bills are also the bills drawn outside India and made payable in and drawn upon any person resident in India is the foreign bills. Simply what it says that let's say it's some other country, USA, and it draws bill on United Kingdom. So this is a foreign bill. And let's say USA, and let's say it's drawn bill on India. This is also a foreign bill. This simply says that. Next, the demand bills. What are demand bills? The demand bills, I told you something about site bills. The demand and site bills are out and out same. So in the demand bills, when the bill produced, it is written that I delivered the good, you have to make the payment immediately. Then we call it as a usance or demand bill, not usance, site or demand bills. Next, clean bills. Okay, whenever you visit some of the let's say shops, so it simply gives you the bill. It doesn't have any extra documents attached with it, like the title of the goods or the some other expenses involved. It will not show. It just has a simple bill which specifies the amount. That's it. So this is a clean bill. But what are documentary bills? So when the main bill attached with some title of the goods. Title of the goods is nothing but which specifies the title. Let's say in the last chapter, when we were reading about the letter of credit, we discussed about the bill of lading, the certificate of origin, and many other things like railway receipts, lorry receipts are nothing but a title of goods. It just specifies your title, the name, the involved, that it will prudently proves that yes, this goods associated with it, that's the title of goods. But here let's say in other example, like the documentary bills are the main bill attached with the, like the lorry receipts, the train bills, like the certificate, bill of lading, etc. are attached with the main bills is called a documentary bills. Like in the last example, in the last chapter, in the letter of credit, we saw that in the when the supplier supplied the goods, it attaches invoices plus the bill of lading, the transport goods, and insurance document, lot of things. So this extra are the documentary credit because it proves that these documents belongs to this person. That's it. Okay. Now the bills, documentary bills are of 2 types, like the bill drawn with an instruction to deliver documents against payments, and the bill drawn with instructions to deliver documents against acceptance or DA bills. Simply what it says in the last chapter when we were reading about the letter of credit, we took the examples like buyer, PNB, seller, and negotiating bank. Okay, we read this much in the last example. So let's say when this negotiating bank negotiates and delivers the amount of the payment, and in turn it transfers the documents to the PNB. Now when this when the bills, and previously this too has a contract in which they must have. Okay, we were discussing this example. In this example, this buyer and seller has put into themselves into a contract, and in the contract itself it will be written that whether the bill will be in usance or will be in demand. So whenever when the bill is of demand type, then it will be written in the letter of credit itself that the deliver documents against payment, that is called a DP bills. That DP bills happens when let's say what does it mean, the DP bills? That is deliver documents against payments. Deliver document against payments means when this negotiable instrument transfers the documents to the PNB. Now this buyer will come to take the documents. Why they need the documents? They need the documents in order to release the shipped products from the dockyards. The customs department will see the documents, then only it will release the products or the shipped document. So this buyer needs the documents, but PNB will give the documents only against the payment. Means first pay the amount, then take the documents. That is the DP bills, that is deliver documents against payments. There is another chance that this buyer and seller put into themselves the usance type of bill, that is the DA bills. The DA bills means deliver documents against acceptance. It means this negotiable instrument transfers the documents. Now this PNB has the documents. Now the buyer will just come and take the documents. Taking the documents means that it accepts the documents. It will not have to make the payment because it's a usance deal between the buyers and the sellers, and in the usance, in some future date the payment will be given or the delivered. So that's the main case, and it will be written in the documents or the letter of credit itself that whether it's a DA bill or the DP bill. In the DA bill, documents against acceptance means no need to make a payment, but DP bills you have to first make the payment, then you can take the documents, and with that document you can release the shipped products that come from the sailors from in the dockyard, because the custom departments only release the goods after seeing all the documents. Now how the banks how the finances could be possible with the help of bills. Whenever the person with the bills come, what all options the banks has. Let's say the person comes with a bill which is a sight bill. Whenever there is a sight or demand bill, the bankers has to purchase it, and whenever the person comes with a usance bill, the banker has to discount it. Why discount? Because it's of the future date. So let's say if the bill is of 1 crore, the bank will give only 90 lakh. 10 lakh got discounted. But here in the case of sight or demand bill, the purchase when the banks purchase it, let's say it's 1 crore, the bank will give 1 crore, but it will charge some commissions against it. So this is the difference between the purchase and the bill discount. Now the next one is the advance against bill for collection. In some of the cases, let's say the bill becomes due, and due means that in some of the past days it was written that in future day it will pay, and that future day already came and the bill went on for the collection. So on that basis also the bank gives loans by So this is a example of advance against bills for collection. I hope it is understandable. If you practice questions, you will get to know some more things, which is very important for any chapter to have it. Okay, that's it with the chapter. I think I have touched all the important aspects. What you need a very good amount of practice from the question bank, especially the chapter wise. Whatever chapter I am completing, you have to make good of the time and practice as much as questions as possible. If you practice more, it will you will definitely get the first division in the certification examination. And also whatever notes I have given you, start reading parallelly and start solving questions, practice questions from that, because that's the notes I made. It's very simple chapters which doesn't requires any much understanding. Whatever doubt you had in the understanding of any topic, you can ask me in the group. That group mainly purposes for that, the Banking Inside Out, the group in the Facebook. You can join there and you can clear all the doubts there. Okay, thank you.